Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be the next installment for the Stars and Strikes, and this time around we are talking about eyeshadow palettes. So I've got the palettes here, and we will start as we normally do with the strikes. And I have 2 strikes this time round. No, sorry, 3. Hold on a second. 3. Okay, so this one that you kind of already know about if you watch my Throwing Shade eyeshadow exploration series that I'm doing with Jessica and a bunch of other ladies. Basically, the reason I don't like this is because a lot of the shadows in here are really poor quality. This is the one that I chose for my Throwing Shade, and it's just dry and glittery, and like there's no pigment to it, it's just all glitter, and it's just all like super dry. Like, can you see how patchy that is? That's because it's so dry that it's just glitter, and it's not pleasant to use at all. And some of these eyeshadows in here are really, really nice. Like this purple, this black is really pigmented, and this brown. Like, the pigment is there on some of these eyeshadows. I've yet to try these ones on my eyes. But some of them, like, the pigment is there. The purple one's kind of patchy, actually. Yeah, that purple's really patchy as well. You can even see. And my camera is like the worst camera in the world, and you can see how patchy that is. But then I like to use the lighter colours, mainly these 3. This one, the camera's not that great. So this one's kind of like a creamy colour. This one's like a nice transition shade, and this one's just a nice warm tone brown. They're the only 3 that I use in this palette. And I think now that I've swatched those ones, and I've got blacks that I can use in different palettes, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use these 3. I'm not going to depot them because I hate depotting eyeshadows, but I will use these 3, maybe just these 2 actually, because I've got warm tone browns. I just got the Naked Heat palette, so. And then this palette can go elsewhere. I probably won't chuck it out, because there's a lot of people who don't have access to this kind of thing. So, you know, I'll see who wants it, if anyone wants it. But I'm not about sneakily passing poor quality stuff onto other people. So I will tell them, hey, this isn't that great a quality, but if you're low on eyeshadows, it does the job, you know, and see what they say. And if I can't get rid of it that way, then I will probably throw it out, but because I can't donate it because it's already used. So yes, that is that. We don't like that palette. I mean, it's actually a shame, really, because it was one of the first Too Faced eyeshadow palettes that I ever bought. And I've bought more since then. And I love Too Faced eyeshadows. Like, my favourite brand is Urban Decay, but my favourite eyeshadow brand is Too Faced. And, like, the reason that I never say that I can pick Urban Decay outright as my favourite brand is because I prefer Too Faced eyeshadows. So, but then that palette versus, you know, what's the word? Limited edition. So this is limited edition, and the quality is bad. But Urban Decay limited edition stuff, the quality is better, I find. So there is that. This next one is the Balm Nude Tude eyeshadow palette. And the reason I don't like this palette is because the colours are just so boring. They don't inspire me. A lot of them are really dark, so I wouldn't be able to do a lot with them. The nicest shade in this palette is that pink, which is like that. But oh, actually, that's really nice. But again, it's really patchy. But that's different, this one. The patchiness on the Too Faced is because it was super dry. But the patchiness on this is because it's so soft that it just crumbles and you can't get a true swatch of it. Another one I picked, this is probably going to upset a few people, is the Morphe 35O palette. And the reason I picked this is not because the eyeshadow quality is bad, because it's not. The eyeshadow quality is amazing. Well, not amazing. The eyeshadow quality is okay. The reason this is in the strikes for me is because, sorry about the mess in here, is because it's so overrated. Like, as I said just then, the eyeshadow quality is okay. And people went mad for it. And I don't know why, because it's just an okay palette. There's a few swatches there. This one here, like, is so soft that it basically just crumbled under my hand. Okay, that's a beautiful eyeshadow. That's beautiful. But yeah, compared to other things that I have in my collection, this eyeshadow palette for me is just meh. It's okay, it's average, I'll use it. But I'm not amazed by it, I'm not wowed by it. It doesn't scream out to me to, use this eyeshadow palette because it's so pretty. Like everyone says that it does because it's YouTube and people say things. I mean, if you like that palette, there's nothing wrong with that, it might work out for you. People are different. That's what this whole series is about. And I find that it's very interesting to watch everyone else's videos because what works for me, doesn't work for other people. Like, I remember one episode, I was like, I really, really love this thing. And Julie was like, no, that thing sucks. And I think basically all of us said that we didn't like lip gloss. And then Jessica was saying about how she doesn't like lipstick and she really loves lip gloss. And that's basically sums up the whole thing about makeup is some things work for some people, some things don't work for the same people. But the Morphe palette for me is not... It's okay, I'll use it, but it's not the best palette that I have in my collection. We'll get on to my favourite palette in my collection in a second. This palette, so we're moving on to the stars now. That's all the strikes for this one. This palette is the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. I love this palette. It is stunning. When I saw it, I knew I had to have it. And when I originally saw it, when it came out in the States first, as everything always does. But I was actually in the States when it came out in the States. So I had the chance to get it at the same time as everyone else who was in the States. But I didn't. I picked it up in Ulta and then I put it back again. And I wish I'd got it sooner because it's amazing. I love this palette. I use it all the time. Believe it or not, I use it all the time. Especially these blues. These blues. This one here, this navy, is amazing. And this white is just, oh, they need to release this as a single. If they have, somebody tell me. It's bump. It's just the best matte white I have ever used in my life. It's just a great palette. If you don't have this because you're afraid of colour, like, it's okay. Get it because there are colours in here that you can use. Like, I probably would never use this yellow, but then there's certain eye looks where, it could be acceptable to have a yellow. I've yet to try out any rainbow or sunset type things, just because I have cool tones and I have fair skin. So, trying out yellow sunsets on my eyes probably wouldn't go down very well. But yes, if you don't have that, you need it. Even though you sat there thinking, I don't use colour, I don't need it. You need it. This is the Carly Bible, the original palette with BH Cosmetics. I love this palette. A lot of people have said that, it's BH Cosmetics, the quality's not there. It's drugstore, blah, blah, blah. I don't find that. I find that the quality is there. I mean, they blend away easier than some eyeshadows, but I've had high-end shadows that blend away. So I really enjoy this palette. I think it was worth every single penny that I paid for this. I really genuinely do. And I use this palette to travel with because it's good made quality and it's cardboard, so it's not going to get broken or cracked or anything. And like, this has gone basically all over the world with me. And because I use it as traveling, it's not got, you know, it's got a lot of use on it. I've got pan on 3 eyeshadows, so you know I'm using it a lot. But it's not like completely panned because I only use it when I travel. I don't use it any other time because I love it that much, and I know that this is my travel palette, and I'm like, I can't pan my travel palette because what else am I going to travel with? Yeah, so I love that palette. This one is still not my favorite eyeshadow palette, and this is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This is my second favorite eyeshadow palette ever. I love this palette. I love the way it smells. I love the eyeshadows. Oh, it just smells so good. And it looks like this. My favorite shade in here is this one, Puree. I love the eyeshadow color. The camera's not picking up the color exactly because on here it kind of looks like a brownie champagne color. But actually in the pan it's kind of like a pink with gold shimmer in it. But like really fine gold shimmer, so it's kind of the pink and the gold are mixed together rather than the pink with gold glitter in it. Sorry, I had to smell it again. I love this eyeshadow palette. I will probably repurchase it if I ever use it up. That's how much I love this eyeshadow palette. And I'm seriously considering getting some of the new stuff in the Sweet Peach collect. You know, the whole new collection that they've done. Lip glosses, lip oils, that kind of thing don't interest me, but eyeshadow palettes and lipsticks do, and blushes. So, and this is my favorite ever eyeshadow palette ever of life ever, and I will definitely buy this if I ever use it out. It is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, and the reason this one wins, because the peach one is great, the reason this one wins is because of the pinks. I enjoy peach, but I love pink way more, like in terms of eyeshadow, because I'm cool toned, so pink eyeshadow looks great on me. So, and these pinks are just, oh, stunning. I know it doesn't look like it's had a lot of use, but trust me, it has. But because some of these are so pigmented, you don't need a lot at all. Okay. So this one is Totally Fetch. This one is Cotton Candy. This one is Sprinkles. This one is Cafe au Lait. And this one is probably my favorite eyeshadow in the whole palette. And it's all grey. And it's this one here. It's like a really deep blue grey. And it's just, oh, I love that colour. And that's those swatched. I mean, some of the pinks are really light, but as I said, the lighting's really bad in here. So you can see better that way if I bend my hand. Yeah, I love that palette. So let's talk about some of the ways that I've used this. So my favorite go-to look when I have this palette open is I will use Divinity to set my primer. Sorry, I'm just cleaning my hand. I will use Divinity, which is this one, to set my primer. I will then probably use a mixture of Cotton Candy, which is that one, and Totally Fetch, because Cotton Candy is quite light and Totally Fetch is too bright, so mixing them together creates a really nice colour. Let's show you that, because you need to see that. This is not the best brush in the world, I can tell you that much for free. I'm waiting for the tools, Stars and Strikes, and then I can bin it. See, it's just a really lovely colour if you mix the two together. And then I'll put a mixture of almond truffle and mocha in my crease, and then Earl Grey will be on the outer V to deepen up the outside corner. And that's how I'm quite interested in this colour. I've never used it before, blackcurrant. It looks really interesting. Oh wow, that's really pretty. So blackcurrant is like a deep purple, really deep purple with purple shimmer running through it. It's almost jewel chromate. You can see the shimmer. That's amazing. That's really nice. So yeah, so that's my favourite eyeshadow palette ever of life. I think that it's a hard toss-up between the two. But as I said, Bonbons wins out because of the pinks. But then if I look at the rest of it, like, I could create a custom palette and it would look like this. Like, that is my dream eyeshadow palette, I think. And it has to smell this good too. Oh no, wait. It's missing a blue. The blue from the semi-sweet palette. That would go in there. I have it here. This Blueberry Swirl. Put that in with these two. And make a palette. And that is my dream palette. Like, yes. If anyone knows if this palette exists, tell me. But my caveat is it still has to smell good. But yeah. So that's everything for this video. I hope you got some good ideas of like the kind of eyeshadows that I go for. The next one will be eyeshadow singles, I believe. Or either that or this one's first. This one's first, eyeshadow singles is second, or eyeshadow singles is first, and I got myself muddled up. I'm sure this is first, and then eyeshadow singles next. If you see eyeshadow singles and then see this one and I'm talking about this, and it's up already, then I'll link it down below. But I'm fairly sure this one's first. Anyway, I'm going to go. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.